Combs, it looks like he could get out of prison early, not that much earlier, but a little bit. The New York Post reports the rapper will now be released on April 25th, 2028, instead of June 4th of that same year, 2028. The early release reportedly comes after he went into a drug use rehab program in November. Diddy has been in prison since his September 2024 arrest. In July 2025, he was convicted on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. He is appealing that ruling.
What's your take on all this? Was Diddy's early release just luck, or is there a bigger plan happening behind the scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments below. To keep up with the latest on Diddy's case, the Tupac investigation, and all the music industry drama, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next update.
Toilet wine, on the other hand, is a fermented combo of Fanta, sugar, and apples. And though there are many variations, they are all alcoholic, which is the point, and all strictly off limits in lockup. But TMZ is reporting that Diddy has been caught with the stuff, this week in fact. He did have a birthday on Tuesday and was going to be moved to a new unit apparently as punishment, but the officials changed their minds according to the report. But that still leaves the question of Diddy's alleged newfound sobriety, which he made such a big point of emphasizing when he was sentenced, and whether this will have any impact on that sentence.
If even half of what we've discussed turns out to be true, this story is far from over. Diddy may be getting out of prison early, but the investigations, lawsuits, and questions about him are only growing. His appeal was approved even without any new evidence or changes in circumstances, which certainly raises some red flags.
Don't know, and why it is serious in prison, it could blow up. So if you don't know what you're doing and you don't let it breathe, as they say, it could actually be like a bomb. So it actually can blow up and everything will spray everywhere. But it can get you drunk, and it could also land you in the hole. So, I mean, I don't know as far as them saying he's gonna move him out of the unit. I know it's a very serious ticket. I know he could lose his phone, he could lose commissary, and he could lose visits, and also maybe go to the SHU for up to 30 days or maybe more.
So, I mean, that's all serious stuff. I keep wondering about the sentence. Do you not think it's possible, especially since he campaigned, in his sentencing, that he was getting sober, he'd been working on, on a sobriety at the MDC, and now he's at Fort Dix, and if this is true, if the report's true, might they say, well, screw it, you're not getting your 15% off your federal sentence?
Right, so it don't work like that, but every ticket in the feds, if it's a certain degree ticket, you will lose some good time. We call it good time. In New York State and federal prison is 2 different. You could actually lose your good time in New York State or any state prison and get your good time back. The feds, once you lose it, you can't get it back. So if he does lose 20 days, 40 days for this, he cannot get it back, or whatever they recommend for him to lose, because they will recommend days to be lost on this kind of ticket.
One of your biggest stars right now, you mentioned people coming after you. Are you exaggerating that as a rapper? No, I'm not exaggerating at all. That's real. The more money you make, the more problems come with it. Jealousy and envy are just part of the territory. Like my man Puff says, that negative energy surrounds you and can even make you depressed. That's why I have to rap about it. One of the worst parts of the game is that when you get big, even your friends can turn against you. It's a harsh reality. And how real is the threat of people constantly coming after you? It's real every day. I think about it constantly. Sometimes I wake up paranoid, really scared, just feeling in peril.
How does it go on for so long? When we were on the street, we didn't get a day's rest. I mean, the government was all over us. The FBI is all over us. They got investigations on us. They got informants. They got surveillance equipment.
He was not cutting you off, but he was an informant for years.
Was he really?
Yeah. That's why when people was like, oh, he's going to run, oh, he's not. It's the reason why these type of people get caught up. They always been telling them they bigger than the law because they part of the law, And as you know, all these people get tired of their rats sooner or later. Diddy is an FBI informant. He's been one a long time. So I don't believe that he's going to go to prison. And if he do, it'll be for something very, very small. It wouldn't be nothing what the people think. I don't think he's going to go nowhere long. And at the same time, you got to look at it. The best witness they had is KPD. KPD been an informant for a very, very long time. And KPD is getting ready to go to trial for the murder of Tupac. KPD said it. Everybody else know it. And KPD says the money came from Puffy, the key partner, and myself. So if they really wanted Puffy that bad, KPD would have could have deal with them, got on that stand, and broke it down. That'd have been the RICO right there. That'd have been higher, right?
You can see how frightened Biggie was. He clearly knew that someone was after him.
Was a millionaire. Him being a confidential informant, him getting money like that, it was favors. He been getting favors and been paying law enforcement people for years to protect him. You understand? To protect him. We had a lot of people on the payroll when we was doing security. Everybody had, somebody might have this first 10 hours, that 10 hours, or whatever. He was paying law enforcement. He had a budget for law enforcement. Now, if something goes wrong, those people got friends in certain places, then plus he tells his handler, yo, can you make this go away for me? I'll give you this and that. Now, that could be a lot of speculations or whatever like that. But why would you have or be working for an FBI agent if you're not an informant? Why? So when you got that kind of money, you could hire people.
Tupac's death wasn't the only celebrity tragedy linked to Diddy. Many people claim that he was also involved in Biggie's death. The murder of the notorious B.I.G. has remained unsolved for decades. Biggie was shot in Los Angeles in March 1997, just 6 months after Tupac Shakur was killed. Both events happened during the height of the East Coast, West Coast rap feud, and since then, investigators, journalists, and insiders have been trying to uncover the truth behind what really happened.
He don't give a damn. He literally is saying he's going to reach out to Trump to remind Trump of the things that P. Diddy has said about him for the sole express purposes of making sure that Trump doesn't pardon Diddy in the event that Diddy gets convicted of and racketeering. That's what 50 Cent is sworn to do. And I got to admit to you, that's wild. Damn, you know you got an enemy there when the man want to go out of his way to contact the president, and clearly he has some kind of inroads where he can get to President Trump so President Trump can hear him. He's basically saying, yo, brother need to go down. Brother need to go down and stay down. That's what he's saying. So if Diddy didn't have enough problems, having 50 Cent on your ass is a problem. That's a problem. That's the only thing I can peel from it at this moment in time. I would love for 50 Cent to tell us what exactly is his disgust with.
This is why Diddy is trying to control the story. Less than a week after 50 Cent's documentary went viral, Diddy's kids announced they're partnering with the Zeus network to release a documentary showing Diddy's side. The trailer revealed that Diddy will also appear in the doc. His sons, Justin and Christian Combs, teased the new series, which was shared on Instagram by Zeus Network's founder on December 28th. In the trailer, Justin and Christian sit in a screening room as headlines about their father flash on the screen. At the end, Justin's phone vibrates, and he answers a collect call from the Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institute, where Diddy is currently serving time. No official release date has been announced, but the teaser says it's expected sometime in 2026. 50 Cent released his documentary despite all the risks, and now many in the industry are criticizing him, calling him a rat for exposing Diddy. He is allegedly even facing threats, as some executives want to damage his reputation. Gone Deal also warned 50 Cent that Diddy could retaliate against him. 26,196.
Posted a letter.
Oh boy.
He said, "Dear Judge, I have an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I fear for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments, despite him trying to teach a class there. Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public. And babies need it. My Netflix doc on his scandalous subject is coming soon." 50 played too much.
Remember, Diddy is being released early even though he is at the center of a new criminal investigation. This is just one of many, as dozens more are expected to be announced. He also faces over 100 pending lawsuits. Eventually, even his status as a confidential informant won't be enough to protect him. 26,196.
That the family of Tupac Shakur is investigating a potential link between the murder of Tupac and Sean Diddy Combs. This coming from attorney Alex Spiro, who represents Tupac's family. Now, this investigation had been previously reported by unnamed sources, but earlier today, Spiro confirmed to our Court TV team that he and a team of investigators has been hired.
Sean Combs allegedly had business dealings with Dwayne Keefe D. Davis, who will go on trial next March for the murder of Tupac. This was back in 1996. Some have speculated that Diddy ordered Tupac's death. That, of course, is just a theory at this point, and we are monitoring the developments in both the Tupac trial and the federal indictment of Sean Diddy Combs. So a lot of...
The most exciting part is that 50 Cent is just getting started. He knew Diddy would try to slip away, so he's already working on part 2 of his documentary. This new installment is even more explosive than the first and includes all the footage Netflix couldn't show due to legal issues. 50 Cent has said he doesn't even care if he loses money. He's willing to release part 2 for free on YouTube if it means Diddy has to face the consequences for his actions. 26,196.
I get it. When you have a case that's 5 years old, it's hard to get overwhelming evidence that meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. When you have cases this old, no matter what Fiddy has found out and put in this documentary, do you see it at all ever possible that Diddy could be involved in a murder trial when it comes to Biggie and Tupac?
It could be possible, yes. However, like I said, they need a lot of corroboration to make that stick, because it's really alleged right now as to his involvement. It's not anything that's substantial or concrete that he was involved. It's personally from people talking about it and saying this is what happened. You need some more information to come forward to prove that.
The footage 50 Cent included in his documentary showed Diddy at his most vulnerable, which is one of the main reasons Diddy fought so hard to stop the documentary from being released. 26,196.
Davis was offered immunity during the Biggie Smalls investigation in the early 2000s. The filing reads, the 3 LAPD and FBI agents were part of a task force to solve the shooting of rapper Notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, legal name Christopher Wallace. The task force, through a sophisticated criminal investigation, obtained sufficient evidence that would prove Mr. Davis was the leader of the Southside Crips and his gang was responsible for over 360 kilos of cocaine and PCP. Mr. Davis provided 3 interviews to obtain immunity from prosecution. The final interview were solely questions regarding the Tupac Shakur shooting, which Mr. Davis was also provided immunity from prosecution. So during a December 2008 interview with investigators, that is when Davis allegedly started to spill the beans about his one-time friend, Sean Combs, who he refers to as Puffy. He claims Sean Puffy Combs solicited Mr. Davis to Suge Knight and Tupac Shakur for $1 million. Eric Zip Martin, an associate of Puffy Combs, provided Mr. Davis with a gun to exact revenge on Tupac Shakur for the beating Mr. Anderson received. Now, Davis reportedly told the investigators that even though the job had been partially completed and Shakur was killed, neither he nor Anderson ever got paid. He later revealed that he believes Combs had paid the go-between Zip Martin, who he claims kept the money for himself. And he said much of the same thing in a 2009 interview a year later, because according to the motion to dismiss, the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, as far back as 2009, was in possession of the same set of facts that the Clark County District Attorney is now alleging makes Mr. Davis responsible for the murder of Tupac Shakur. The Clark County District Attorney's Office has offered no reason as to why it waited another 14 years to prosecute a case against Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis has been irreversibly prejudiced by this unnecessary delay in prosecution of this case, and Mr. Davis's constitutional rights have been violated in an extraordinary manner never before witnessed in the annals of the American criminal justice.
Police officers involved in the investigation of Tupac's case have also hinted that new criminal charges could be possible. 50 Cent was able to get people close to Diddy to speak about what they knew regarding the shooting, something police had struggled to do for years. These individuals trusted 50 Cent and felt comfortable sharing their experiences with him. 26,196.
Things I'll share with you guys on what I took away from it. But Rob, maybe share the clip on how he got access to some of the footage of the documentary. Is this the one, Rob?
Yep.
Go for it.
How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figured most journalists would not disclose their sources.
Does he know y'all have this in the doc?
I would doubt he knows.
So when this airs, that'll be the first time that his legal team, Diddy, that everybody knows that this footage is now seeing the light of day.
Perhaps. Combs' team firing back in a statement to NBC News, saying the Netflix so-called documentary is a shameful hit piece and that they relied on stolen footage that was never authorized for release. His team sending a cease and desist to Netflix.
50 Cent has been relentless. He is the reason Diddy's case got so much attention, and his documentary ensured that Diddy faced scrutiny for his past crimes. After 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, Sean Diddy Combs, The Reckoning, revealed links to Tupac's murder, Tupac's family even hired a lawyer to investigate the claims. 26,196.
I think he might be secretly sitting on a whole other docuseries about this. I got on 50's Instagram account today, and I was just like killing some time earlier, and someone had posted a video where they were talking about the whole documentary, and they put out a theory that they think that he has even more footage and that he potentially is going to have a whole second part of this that might release. Now, this is all alleged. None of this is confirmed. This is people talking on Instagram. But 50 posted something to his own account that sort of, in a strange way, addresses this, talking about how he does seem to have these interviews and that he did get some of these other victims on camera. And so I think he might be secretly sitting on a whole other docuseries about this.
Allegedly he said something. Well, he said something similar to that on the Sherry Shepherd show. I hope so. When I tell you I went through all 4 episodes in one city and then went back and watched it again, I want more. And now that he got everyone talking, imagine if he got 22 million out the gate on that one, I'm sure.
This isn't the first time 50 Cent has tried to involve the authorities to stop Diddy's release. Last year, after Diddy's lawyers filed a bail request, 50 Cent sent a letter to the judge asking him not to allow Diddy to go free. 26,196.
Department is now investigating a second battery claim against Sean Diddy Combs. According to the police report, the allegation was made in September in connection to an incident from 2020. The National News Desk, Jeff Harris, joins us. And Jeff, details on this investigation, they're just beginning to develop, of course, but we do know the accuser is a music publicist and a producer. What more can you tell us?
So the allegations in this battery investigation date all the way back to an alleged incident from 2020 involving Combs and a male music publicist and producer who says Combs exposed himself to him after being invited to a photo shoot. According to that police report, the accuser says he was invited to the shoot at a Los Angeles warehouse related to an upcoming project. At that shoot, the accuser alleges Combs began masturbating under a shirt while watching pornography and then exposed himself, telling the accuser to assist. The accuser says he didn't respond to Combs, who continued before throwing that shirt at him.
Diddy's role as a confidential informant is why he's being let go, even though there are several active investigations against him. The one person determined to stop him from walking free is 50 Cent. There are even rumors that Diddy might involve Trump to clear him of all federal charges and investigations, and 50 Cent has said he plans to speak to Trump to try to prevent this. 26,196.
Bro, first of all, they're gonna try to get his baby mama stories. You know, they're gonna try to get 50 baby mama stories. They're gonna try to get girls that he probably dated, that he had problems and issues with and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to do the same thing they probably did to R. Kelly or Puff or whatever like that, and people tell their stories. You understand? But, you know, they trying to retaliate on what he did. Let him go ahead, bruh. Because I think he ready for it. You don't do this and you don't do the stuff that he did or sign on to the stuff that he did with Puff. Unless you got your shit in order. Don't throw no stone if you live in a glass house. Don't throw no stone if you live in a glass house. I believe 50 ready for it. If they come at him any kind of way. I heard that Diddy is trying to sue Netflix for $1 billion. Ain't nothing came up in court. That's just talk, bro. No paperwork has been put in and signed into that. They're gonna have to have a reason. If they were suing him and he had enough reason, why they didn't cease and desist the thing? Huh? If he had a leg to stand on, why they didn't cease and desist the documentary? They're just people talking. Headline news. Because had it been filed in court and they had a leg to stand on, they'd have been bringing that stuff down. Oh, we can't show it no more.
Suge Knight predicted this long before it happened, and Gene Deal said the same thing. He knew Diddy was working with the feds. That's why Diddy's arrest surprised many people following the trial. Even more suspicious was how he beat almost all the charges against him, despite hours of video footage showing him committing crimes. His being declared innocent just didn't make sense.
That Puffy did with Fat Joe, where he was talking about Biggie in his last moments in LA, and he told Fat Joe that he didn't want to go to LA, he actually wanted to go to London, but Biggie, he was the one that wanted to go to LA, and he was the one that was pushing to go to LA.
That's not true. My name is Kirk Burrows. I ran Bad Boy Entertainment. I helped co-found it. I created the company with him. I raised from general manager to president. And at that time, I put all of those business plans together. And Biggie didn't want to go to LA, ended up going. What got him out there was a week ahead of time to ease him into the whole award show. He may not have wanted to go to London, but was talked into it. First time ever a rapper of your stature getting this treatment, that would be something he would be interested in doing. But he was easily talked out of it by Sean so that they can make an appearance at an event in LA that Saturday night. A part of the posturing of not only did we come to the award show, not only am I recording my album out here, and Big is gonna help me with some of the writing and maybe do something out here where me and him did this song in LA, I'm out on the town.
So, it's clear that Diddy isn't being released because of good behavior or giving up drinking. Those reasons were just a cover. More than a year ago, Suge Knight predicted this. Even before Diddy was sentenced, Suge said he would never spend more than a year in jail and that he would be let out early no matter the sentence. The real reason for this special treatment is that Diddy was an FBI informant, and he always knew he would be released sooner or later.
Are you exaggerating? But you now as a rapper, when people coming to get you.
I ain't exaggerating at all, man. That's real, son. That's real, yo. I ain't exaggerating at all, man. The more money you make, the more problems you get. And jealousy and envy is something that comes with the territory, man. A lot of people, it's just negative energy, like my man Puff say. It just surrounds you. It makes you depressed, you know? So I gotta rap about it. And that's one of the bad things about the game is when you get large, even your friends will turn against you, man. So, man, there's something about it.
But I mean, how real is your threat of like people constantly coming and wanting to shoot
Oh,
you?
man, I mean, that's real. I think about that every day. Every day it's real. That's how real it is. I think somebody's trying to, I'll be waking up paranoid. I'll be really scared. just be paro.
So, it's clear that Diddy isn't being released because of good behavior or giving up drinking. Those reasons were just a cover. More than a year ago, Suge Knight predicted this. Even before Diddy was sentenced, Suge said he would never spend more than a year in jail and that he would be let out early no matter the sentence. The real reason for this special treatment is that Diddy was an FBI informant, and he always knew he would be released sooner or later.
Now in custody for 50 months. Diddy was just sharing. Based upon conduct that a jury heard, the jury resolved, and the jury rejected. It is really a sad day for everybody.
I don't feel that way. We are planning to appeal. We think we have strong bases to appeal. The strongest basis is that the jury reached a verdict on coercion. It found there was not coercion, and I think the judge said coercion today as a basis for a sentence at least a dozen times. The jury's verdict was resoundingly clear. There was no there was no racketeering. Everything was consensual. Everything was adult, which is why he was convicted only of the offense. What we feel happened today was that the judge acted as a 13th juror, one that we did not choose.
The main reason Diddy wanted to go to Fort Dix prison was because of its drug program, which lets inmates get out early if they show good behavior and give up drugs. But Diddy didn't follow these rules. He was caught making illegal phone calls to some of his victims and smuggling alcohol in his cell. The real reason he was released early is actually something else entirely, and once you learn it, everything will start to make sense.